This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning. In the morning.
Shake that fire.
Wake your fuck ass up, that cornstarch.
I just want to be left the hell alone.
Well, that would be a waste.
This may very well be one of the most anticipated projects that Marvel has put together, Heather B.
Yeah.
MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, is where it's all set up at. This character is symbolic for a lot of reasons, Heather B.
Tell him why, though. Give him 2 reasons.
Because he's a superhero, he lives in Harlem, and he's a black man. Heather B. That's why it's significant, man.
They should have never gave us the money.
I live in Harlem, and I'm a black man, Heather B. Does that make me a superhero?
You're a superhero, Sway.
Thank you, Heather B. We got 2 very special guests here. One of which, I was in Vancouver this weekend, and I went to a comic book store because I knew it was coming down the pipeline with this new series on Netflix. How do I know? Because I play a significant role in this series, Heather B.
Talk about it.
In one of the episodes, you and I, Sway in the Morning, Sway's Universe, is featured in one of the episodes.
Can you believe it? Whoa.
I'm talking about Luke Cage, ladies and gentlemen, Luke Cage. We have the one and only Mike Colter with us. Luke Cage is here.
Wow.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Also, we have with us in our presence, she was by the show before. I wasn't here to be that day. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know, Mike.
You missed out.
I was working, man.
It was a ladies' day.
It was a ladies' day. Academy Award, Grammy Awards, 18 times for an Emmy Award, winning 4 at least. Should have won more. Golden Globe Awards, 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards. Beautiful on the screen and beautiful in person. Ladies and gentlemen, Alfre Woodard is here. Ladies.
Amazing.
She plays Mariah in this. Mariah Dillard. How exciting? Are y'all as excited as I am about this? Like,
Yes.
Right?
You know, I keep it inside, but I'm bubbling. I'm bubbling. I am.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, one of the reasons is it's great. I like when I see characters like and listen, man, these comic book characters and superheroes really shouldn't have gender and maybe race and all those things,
Right.
but they do. And you know, when I was growing up, I didn't see a lot of them that look like me or that I feel like I relate to. Luke Cage is somebody you feel like could live right around the corner.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's the whole point. We were hoping that we could create a character that people could touch, feel like they could relate to, and ultimately, he's blue collar. You know, he gets up, he gets up in the morning, puts his pants on like everybody else, and he tries to figure a way out to pay the bills, make the ends meet, and to see how to like progress his life. I always say he's a Renaissance man, and he's under development, trying to further himself and trying to see what is the next step of his life. So, yeah.
He sounds like, like Pharrell Williams or something. Right? You know what I mean? Like a Renaissance man, right?
Right.
It's placed in Harlem. Alfre, how important was that to you? Did that hold any significance to you?
Oh, that was what drew me right in.
Yeah.
And Cheo Hidari Coker, our brilliant showrunner and creator, he is the person that did it for me. He's one of the smartest brothers I've ever met. He's very literate,
Yes.
and he is a hip hop aficionado in that he has loved and respected hip hop, knew what it was going to be in terms of its world influence as a journalist, and so he brings his love of the culture and history of Harlem and makes it as strong a character as any one of us. But yet there's a brother there, bulletproof and kicking ass every day. All of that together with Ali and Adrian's music just driving our lives. It is, I'm going to tell you, it's something in there for everybody. Nobody's going to sleep Friday when this drops.
Oh, for Friday, I'm excited.
She's referring
And
to.
Adrian Young.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an Oakland boy. You know?
I didn't know that part.
I just threw that on there because he works with a lot of Oakland artists. I'm sure he's from Oakland or has some relation to Oakland.
He is.
DB is a big fan, Mike.
Yeah.
He actually showed me a promo today, who was it talking? It was
Method Man was talking, and I saw the Sway's Universe logo. I'm like, wait a minute, because he didn't even tell us that he had any involvement in the show. But
he kept it on the low.
I was sworn to secrecy.
Wow,
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe it. You really kept that to you.
I kept it to myself.
Man, that's you know what? That's Marvel's gonna appreciate that. See, I'm really impressed by that.
Yeah,
man.
man, I didn't want to mess it up with Marvel. Are you
Wow.
kidding me?
they sent out very specific instructions whenever they
Good.
sent the screeners, like, you will not talk about anything in the show until Friday when it drops and everything. But I got to watch it last night, and I don't want to say too much either because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I'm hooked already. The one thing I do want to ask you guys is there always seems to be a negative reaction to superheroes, black or white, whatever.
Yeah.
Superman, Batman, law enforcement, people in power, they always seem to be afraid of what these people are capable of. And I think that's one of the things that's very interesting. What are your takes about, like, why that is?
Well, I feel like, in this situation, we're doing something that's a little different. I don't want to give too much about the history of Luke Cage, but he's not necessarily on the other side of the law or against the law. He's just about what's right, and he has a strong moral compass. He does not dislike the law. He just wants to make sure that they're doing things to the best of their abilities and performing up to par. He doesn't take excuses. So when they fall short, then he tries to pick up the slack. And I feel like right now people can hear that. They resonate with them because reform is needed. And with Luke Cage, he's like, look, if you can't handle it, I can. And that's kind of how he looks at things. And it's a very strong message. But no, by no means is Luke Cage, I don't think he's an adversary of the law. He's just a guy who just doesn't tolerate, doesn't suffer fools. That's kind of how it works.
It's kind of a hard place to be in.
And you know what? The thing that most people don't know is that as a community, people of color are not monolithic.
Right.
So Luke Cage shows you that. The sisters they're holding down the precinct. They're in charge at the precinct. And Misty Knight is kicking ass. I keep saying kicking ass. But when you see it, people are just going flying everywhere. Asses are getting kicked.
A lot of asses.
Derrieres.
Yes,
Gotta put a dollar in the jar.
And so you see all sides of our communities there and all the different opinions. Everybody's working towards what they think is best for Harlem. It's just everybody's interests conflict on how they pull it off.
Yeah, and maybe we could all take a cue from this in terms of managing our own communities and neighborhoods. That's what it sounds like you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
for
wow.
sure.
I'm just tripping. Alfre Woodard is here, man. I usually have a ton of questions, but I'm just staring at her like that. 12 years of slave is here. Okay, I'm sorry, Alfre. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Well, Mike, Tracy, go ahead.
Yeah, well, sorry, Mike. I was thinking to myself off of what DB said. Yes, some people have issues with just superhero, but we do see a lot of people who complain about some superheroes being black, and they feel like it takes away from however the traditional character was created. What is your response to that?
Well, this is an original black superhero, so this case is no question
no,
about
in general.
In general?
Yeah.
Well, in general, I mean, here's the thing, and I'm not trying to, kind of discredit what they're saying, but when you talk about being otherworldly and doing things physically that seem almost impossible, you look at our athletes, and more than likely most of them are black. So why would it not stand to reason that the superheroes would also be black? I mean, they have no problem with them. We can jump and we can run, and we have all these extreme. We're great at a lot of things.
Yeah.
Obviously, POTUS is black. I mean, we have a lot of good things going for us. So it stands to reason we can do that too, right? Yeah.
I think that people that have a problem with it just need to exercise what we've always had to exercise. Now, if somebody can fly, they can burst into flames, they
Suspend
can
your
roll
disbelief.
over. It's fantastical.
Yeah.
So we have always put ourselves in those places.
Suspend
People of
disbelief.
color have always imagined little kids. That's me. So now everybody else gets to imagine that that's them too.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Well, and speaking of POTUS, Alfre Woodard, I had the pleasure of meeting you with the FLOTUS, the First Lady of the United States, where I put together an event with the leading black women of Hollywood. So we had yourself, Lynn Whitfield, Whoopi Goldberg, Tina Knowles, all rallying around and presenting this united front for First Lady Michelle Obama. With that being said, with your character having political slants, we've been talking so much about Harlem. What's happening in real life Harlem? The gentrifications that's happening, the changes, that dynamic. The congressman has flipped for the first time in a very long time. It's going to be of a different kind of complexion and point of view and perspective. How important was that role for you to accept this role that you have? And then what do you think this role would do along with the character in terms of pushing the national narrative of race and culture that we're having?
Well, okay.
Mike, don't back off this, man. Come on.
These are Marvel street level heroes. There was Daredevil, Jessica Jones, now Luke, Iron Fist is coming. And if you're a street level hero, you're going to have to deal with what's happening on the street. Now, it is hellacious when somebody punches him and they just disintegrate. But other than that, we're talking about things that are happening. The gentrification, keeping Mariah Dillard, my character, her whole thing is, yeah, everybody's welcome in Harlem, but Harlem for the Harlemites. If you want to come to Harlem, come and join Harlem. Don't come trying to get rid of the drum circle. Because the drum circle live here in half of 50 years. So but it's not just in Harlem. It's happening all over our country. Even in smaller cities, places that have been abandoned and blighted, the money goes, oh, there's good bones in those buildings, and it comes back in, and the people are dislocated. So it's a conversation that we have a chance to have because nobody knew what to do about it. We have so many things that are plaguing us right now. That one is kind of down on the list, but it does create tension in communities. There's things like the police relations. Getting to know the people in your neighborhood, in your area, getting to know the people in your area that have mental health problems, who lives here. And with Luke being a reluctant hero, a reluctant superhero, I think people it'll spark them to say, oh, I can make a difference too. I can go help that woman with her grocery bags. I can say, brother, please don't slap that woman.
Yeah.
I can say, mama, please don't snatch that little boy's arm that hard. It tells us that if we want to create community, then we have to step up. And so I think people are going to identify with Luke. I think it is very practical. Yeah, he has superpowers, but he is also... He's like us in that we were like, oh, that's not my business. You know what? Yeah. I'm going to have to come. I'm going to have to stand up.
I want to touch on what Alfre said really quickly. I love the fact that, because I've been saying this for a while, but, Luke is trying to make superheroes out of everyone. He can't handle everyone's problems. So he's trying to inspire people in the community to stand up and do what's right, to say what you've seen, to help your community, because the community suffers if you keep silent. And going back to what you said about in law enforcement relations, I've always said, we've seen cops in affluent neighborhoods talking and hanging out with the people that live there because they want to, because it, behooves them, because they feel good about talking about the game and sports and weather and things of that nature. In the neighborhoods that really need them, the neighborhoods where things are not always going well, they should be just as involved, especially when you talk about, for instance, Alton Sterling back down in Baton Rouge. He was out there selling CDs for a long time with the permission of the store owner. Those cops, I'm sure, have seen him before. They've probably gone and gotten coffee, gotten donuts, and walked past him, did not bother to engage him. They're civil servants. The taxpayers pay their wages, and they expect them to treat them like human beings. They should have made a connection because it behooves them to connect with him, know his name, know why he's selling CDs. Is he between jobs? Is this his passion? Does he have a wife? Does he have kids? Then when something happens, you're not getting a call from a black man who's standing in front of the CD store in the store selling CDs. He may have a gun in his pocket. You walk up to him, Alton. It's me, John, blah, blah, blah. And if it takes, maybe the black officer to be a conduit for that, hey, break that. Back in the day, remember Sanford and Son? They had the black cop walk in. It was funny, but it was real because Watts was a time, it was a very strange time. Bring people in. Make it work, make the connection, because and vice versa. Walk outside, say, hey, you're riding by. I live here. This is my son. This is my daughter. We have names. That way you break that. So when you're riding by, you get a call. You know that kid. That kid knows you. Right. Now all of a sudden, it's a relationship. They see us as if they can't connect. They don't see their uncle, brothers, sisters, and uncles. They see just just random people. That's what stops them when they face other people from pulling the trigger, the human relations. So we have to make that work on both sides. It's a reform needed, and we have to really be, vehement about doing it.
Yeah. And let me ask you, Mike, can you run for president? I mean, that's
don't do it. Don't do it to me, man. Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Do you keep the superhero voice on all day?
Don't do it to me, man.
The suit.
The super. Look.
We're going to come back with some phone calls. 888-742-3345. We got the cast of Luke Cage with us. Sway in the morning. Alfre Woodard is here. Mike Colter, Luke Cage.
Yes.
Mariah Dillard is here. Luke Cage, the cast is here.
We're here.
We got the cast here before the series started.
Come on, yo.
And when I say cast, it's not just them, Heather being up. We're a part of the cast.
You snuck in the back door. However you got to get in, Sway.
It's okay for me to say that, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
It's all good. It's
Luke,
all good.
Luke Cage, this Friday on Netflix. Everyone is going to binge watch it. I know it.
Yeah.
We're all going to be watching this. I'm going to watch it 3 times over easily. Heather B, you've been excited about it.
I've been excited about it because Sway and I, and a lot of people in this room have been fans, especially Sway and I, of Cheo for so long. We know him from the hip-hop community, and all the work that he's done there with the magazines he's written for and just being a fan of hip-hop. For him to step up in this role is huge for us, and we just support him. How is it that you guys come into this, especially you, Ms. Woodard, and help more people like him get these positions and get these jobs? How do you help more men like him?
He brought me in.
Right.
Yeah, he's
a genius.
I mean, he could have reached into the big pools of women. I was an unlikely choice, and it was Cheo that brought me in. And when it comes down to it, artists approach their work in a very particular way, in a different way than hobbyists and celebrity, dabblers do.
Yeah.
And so I think artists across disciplines recognize each other, and Cheo and I should be working together.
Amen.
And God bless him, he jumped over a lot of obvious choices and asked me to come in.
Cheo is a very critically acclaimed, respected journalist
Yes.
who's been in this culture for years. Him and I led parallel lives, and when he called us to be a part of it, he didn't tell us what it was necessarily. I don't even want to talk about my episode. I just found out I'm talking too much. But for him to, I liken this to, I remember when they made Jay-Z the president of Def Jam, and I was like, man, it's important for you to win,
right?
Because you love the culture. We helped create this culture, and now we could kind of conduct this culture. And I think it's important for Cheo to win as well in this position.
Mike was saying that over here.
Yeah,
earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. He's listen. Cheo is qualified, and when I say qualified, I mean that in this is serious sense. I mean, we talked about Alfre, obviously touched upon being a hip hop aficionado. You guys can add, can echo those sentiments. Comic book geek, but he's a Stanford grad. And see, what people don't realize is that when you qualified, obviously, and going back to POTUS, it's like you kick the tires, look at the credentials. If you unfortunately, yes, in our culture, we kind of have to be better than just average. You have to be exceptional. Yeah. And if you're exceptional, then you get the shot. And when you get the shot, you have to continue to be exceptional. If you continue to be exceptional, it kind of becomes, it goes without saying, but you have to establish that. And it's never going to change. So, and I don't mind that. I don't think anybody should mind pressure from success or trying to exceed expectation, because if someone's only going to expect mediocre work out of you and expect you to kind of just get by, then you probably won't try that hard. So if somebody puts the pressure to you and makes you perform to your fullest potential, that's only better for everybody. You can look at it as unfair, but you know what? That's going to bring the best out of you, and why would you want anything else? So it's okay. We can take the heat.
We can take the heat.
Cheo can take it.
That's Luke Cage said that. All right,
we got take the heat.
We got Darren on the line from Detroit. Darren in Detroit. What up, D?
Hey.
Hey, what's up, everybody? First of all, I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm a father, and I'm also a husband. I'm so proud that we get a chance to see Luke Cage finally. Because as a kid, my first comic book was when he was wearing the long sleeve yellow shirt. Yeah. And my first other comic was Muhammad Ali and Superman. So we've been waiting a long time for this. And I want to thank you all for bringing this and making the brothers in a positive role, showing leadership. You know what I mean? I'm ecstatic that I heard this on the radio this morning. Next up, I want to know, will you be in the Defenders movie?
Well, the Defenders, we're doing a series now. The Defenders is a series that Netflix is launching. So are you saying the Defenders series, or because it's a series on Netflix? Is that what you're referring to?
Oh, well, I was confused with media hype that it was going to be a movie, but you're telling me that it's a series.
Well, sometimes people get excited and start, saying things that don't really make sense. But listen, it's a series on Netflix, and you can look forward to that in 2017. We just haven't gotten it underway yet, but we all will be combining forces. Myself, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist to form the Defenders. That's what we have coming up.
Shit, that's big news. We got to circulate that real quick. All right. Okay, DB, one last thing that DB came up with something. He's really geeked out, but he's
knocking shit over here.
Geeked him.
So, all right, there's one thing that I liked in the series where you got upset because somebody was comparing Bruce Lee and Jet Li. So I decided to put together a little bag of some superheroes, and you tell us which ones you think are the best.
Okay.
Okay. You're rich, you're famous, and you're probably pretty good at what you do.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
But we want to know who you would pick between the greatest matchups of all time. It's the battle of the best on Sway in the morning.
All right.
Oh, it's good.
Okay, Mike, this is it, man. Go ahead, pick 2 names.
Pick 2 names. It's all on one, right?
No,
Just,
you gotta
okay.
pick 2 names.
So first name I'm picking. Oh, okay. First name I got is Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Okay. Wonder Woman.
Okay.
I know her powers and her abilities.
Yeah,
It's a
women
decent-
have a lot of power.
A lot of power.
Married to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One thing is probably complaining. No, I'm just kidding.
Power of complaining.
I always love. It's all with love.
Who's the other?
And Superman. Well,
yeah, good luck with
I
that,
mean,
Mike.
come on. What are we talking about here? We talking about it's a straight up battle? Or are we talking about just a battle of wits? Or are we talking about who gets to pick up a check?
All around. Yeah.
You know, the Wonder Woman makes me think of a song back in the 80s. It was a song back in the 80s, you know, Superwoman and all that stuff. And, you know, it makes me think of so many things. I don't want to I don't discredit ladies. I'm going to, just to be on the, good safe side, I'm going to go Wonder Woman.
There you go. Good answer.
I got to play Wonder Woman. Don't ask me why.
Okay.
Don't ask me why.
That's it, man. We're going to only hold you to one, Mike. Don't worry, man.
He felt the heat of the
It
black
was eyeballs on me, man. Sway.
You sweated through that whole ordeal.
Ready for it.
Everybody's looking at me, and the room got quiet.
Yeah,
all of a
man.
sudden. I didn't know what was happening. The brothers was like, man, don't do it.
Don't do it, Mike. I
Don't
was
do it.
kicking you under the table.
Seriously, man.
And it hurt when I kicked you. I broke my
man.
toe. Luke Cage. Alfre Woodard, thank you for being a guest on this show.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I really
thank you for
appreciate
having
you. I
me.
love your energy. I love your work.
I love y'all. Thank y'all for just lifting us up every day.
Absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. And Mike Colter, congratulations, man.
Thank you, man.
Hey,
Sway,
man. Listen.
it's a pleasure.
You know what episode I'm in or what number?
Yeah, I know. Well, you saw the trailer. You saw the. We'll talk about this after.
Okay, we'll talk about it after.
We don't
All
want
right.
to mess Marvel got a hitman standing
I
outside.
see you, right? All right. We got Kate Hudson going to join us a little later. Sway in the Morning Shade for
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.